friends, and welcome back to Suzanne Elizabeth's Kitchen. Tonight I am going to be making a kale walnut lasagna. And if that sounds out there, it's really not. It's delicious, and I promise you it's very, very easy. And it's something that you will want to share with your friends and family on those nights when you feel like having lasagna, but really don't want the carbs or the wheat or gluten in a regular pasta lasagna. So let's get started. Earlier today, I took one eggplant and I sliced it vertically, and using a pan or a dish of breadcrumbs, seasoned breadcrumbs that I had made, and a dish of one egg with just a splash of buttermilk mixed together. I dunked the eggplant into first the egg wash and then into the breadcrumbs, and once they were coated, I put them on a just a cookie sheet and baked them in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes. You just want to make sure that they're cooked through. And also note that I used a nice thick slice of eggplant because it's really going to be the foundation of my fillings. So into my frying pan, I'm just making this dish for 2 people. It's just for myself and my friend Barbara, who you've met before in my quiche Lorraine video. And she's coming over again for another sewing lesson. She's going to help me finish the apron that I started. As I mentioned before, and as you've probably noticed, I love aprons. And so rather than buying lots of aprons, I thought, why not learn how to sew them myself? And that way I can have the fun of picking out my own fabrics and really customizing my aprons. So what I'm doing now is I've taken my half of an onion and I've just chopped it up. I'm going to turn it this way a little bit. Chopped up the onion, and I'm going to begin sauteing it. And while I'm doing that, I will go ahead and chop up my, I want to say Lacinato with a hard C. My friend Tara, I believe she said it's Lacinato. I can't remember, but here's the deal. This is a, and I've heard it given some other name and I can't even remember. This is a different type of kale than what you'll usually see in the grocery store, because this one, if you can see, has these lovely little bumps on the leaves. I like to call it dinosaur skin. And I just love the texture and I love the look of it. It's a really beautiful, gorgeous, dark hunter green. And the kale itself has a nice strong flavor that I just find really appealing in lots of dishes. So I'm going to throw that in there with my onion, and we're just going to let those saute, and I'm thinking some garlic would be very nice right now. And as usual, I didn't think of it before I put out all my ingredients, so let's see if I've got some. Oh yeah, here we go. And this looks like it's still good. I've been experimenting with buying peeled garlic, and quite honestly, the jury is still out on whether or not I like peeled garlic, because on the one hand, as you can see, couldn't be any more convenient. It comes in these little packets. The cloves are already peeled, and so it's very easy to just pop them out and give them a quick chop, and away you go. Of course, you don't have that wonderful, satisfying moment of tension release when you take the unpeeled garlic and smash it with a can. But, you know, I say try both and see which one you like more, and you know, go with that. But so for today, I'm using my peeled garlic, and as you saw, I've got probably 4 or 5 in there, and I just love garlic, so I am not afraid to use it. Now, we want to go ahead, we want this to be thoroughly cooked and sauteed because we're going to put it into our lasagna mixture, or lasagna in air quotes. And it is going to go into the oven, but it's really not going to cook in the oven. It's going to warm through in the oven. So we're just going to let that saute, the onions and the kale and the garlic. And we're going to turn that down a little bit because we don't want anything to burn. Now I gave it a generous little sprinkling of salt, and now I'm going to do the same with the pepper. And because we have this gorgeous dark green, you know what that's calling for. That's right. It's time for nutmeg. Time for nutmeg, my friends. So we're going to give that a nice sprinkling. And this is really, you know, I started doing this dish this summer, and I first, oh, there goes Coco. I first did it with mushrooms and just loved it. I've been on kind of a mushroom kick this year. And Coco might be barking because Barbara's on her way, or she just might be barking because Coco likes to bark. And sometimes it's for good reason, and sometimes it's for no reason at all, other than Coco likes to bark. I'm going to grab an egg while I'm at it. And let's see, I've got some breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs, egg, and where's the mixing bowl? Oh, I'm going to use this. 2-cup mixing bowl, and I've opened up my ricotta. Very good. And just going to take, since there's just the 2 of us, it's probably half of this, and this is 15 ounces, so that's probably, yeah, that's probably about a cup. We'll put a little bit more in there. And then we're going to add, I'm keeping an eye on my sauteing pan. I'm going to add that egg, and then a few breadcrumbs, just a little bit, just to give it some substance. And now, these are a bag of toasted toasted walnuts, not almonds. Oh, toasted walnuts. Now, toasting walnuts could not be easier, and I've done it previously. And all it is you put some walnuts in a dry pan over a low heat or medium heat, but you want to be very careful to keep an eye on them so they don't burn, just like I need to keep an eye on my saute pan here. And you just let them get toasted, and what that does is the heat brings out the wonderful walnut oils and the flavors in the nuts. And it's a wonderful, nuts are a wonderful thing to add to your savory dishes. They're not just for chocolate chip cookies. They're really terrific in savory dishes. So, you can see I'm mixing that up. Now I want to add some flavor. And I'm going to add some more nutmeg because, you know, I'm just kind of crazy about nutmeg. I'm also going to add some red pepper flakes just to give it a little excitement, because ricotta cheese all by itself, not the most exciting thing in the world, but when you give a little red pepper flakes, you know, that brightens everything up. So here we go, a little nutmeg. And looks like my kale and onions and garlic are looking fantastic, so I'm going to turn that just right down to simmer. And then I'm going to show you this other seasoning that I got at the Nature's Cottage or Village or something, Natural Grocers. And it's sesame seed, black pepper, garlic, green onion, and lemon peel, which it's really lovely because it's green and it's garlic and it's the lemon peel gives you a brightness in there. So add that in there. Don't be afraid to add in your favorite spices to brighten whatever it is you're making. So let's just give this a taste and see how it is. It needs some salt. So we got some salt and then some pepper. You can definitely taste the nutmeg. You can taste the warmth of the red pepper, which is a good thing. And I'm going to add some more of this garlic greenery. That'll be lovely. And give it another taste, because that's what you really need to do. Taste as you go along. Very good. No more. Okay, I was going to add some more salt, but you know, it's better to be maybe a little taste, maybe another little chicha of salt, and another little chicha of the greenery. It's, you know, better to be incremental rather than heavy-handed with your seasonings. Now, I've got these two lovely little gratin pans, or gratin dishes. I'm going to just put a little sprinkling of olive oil in there. And now I'm going to start layering. So I put down one, let's see if you can see this. See what I'm doing here. And I just want you to see how quickly, I mean, we're just 12 minutes into this video and you've almost got dinner going, or dinner ready. And I forgot to turn on the oven, which is important. Okay, so just pretend you're laying bricks, you know, and just put down a layer of the mortar on top of your eggplant. A nice thick layer there. You don't want to be skimpy. So you see that? Got a nice layer on top of my eggplant. And then a nice spoonful of our kale mixture. And you know, the kale has still got some toothiness to it, so it's not, you know, it's not just a big blob of mush. And you want that. You want something that has some texture. I mean, that's the whole point of using this particular kale. So now I'm going to put my next layer on. And we're just doing 2 layers. Another good smush of our ricotta and walnut mixture. And then, oops, we're going to add another layer of kale on this one, on both of them. Oops, you can't see that, can you? Unfortunately, I am left-handed, so handling a pan with my right hand is always a bit awkward for me, so I apologize for showing you the face of my frying pan. So there you go. We're doing this. Now, I want to, because I love cheese, I want to add some mozzarella on here. And I'm, you know me, I'm always amending myself and making changes, and I just thought of something that I'd like to do. And I'm going to show you And you're probably rolling your eyes and saying, Suzanne Anderson, do you ever plan anything out in advance? And I would say, yes, I do plan things out in advance, but I am always overtaken by the spontaneity of inspiration. And here's a prime example. So here's my beloved mozzarella, and I thought I was just going to put it on top, but I've got another idea. So I'm going to lift off the top of the second layer, put a nice big slice there, and then put another slice on top, because that just gives us another gorgeous layer of melted cheese. And, you know, it bears repeating. Can you ever have too much cheese? The answer to that question, if you see it on Jeopardy, the answer is no. And I don't know how to phrase that as a Jeopardy question, or Jeopardy answer. What is the answer to, is there too much cheese? No. So, I don't know. Alex, what's that question worth? Maybe $200. Okay, there we go. So now, to make our lives easier, I'm going to take this little cookie sheet that I used to bake. Whoops, forgot to turn off that burner. And put my little gratin dishes. But let me show you again really quickly what I've done. Can you see? I have these layers. So we have eggplant, ricotta, kale, mozzarella, another layer of eggplant, ricotta, kale, mozzarella on top, and I've sprinkled it with olive oil. And Henry wants a little piece. Look at Henry. Look at Henry. Can you see him? He's so... Come here, Henry. Look. There's Henry. There's Henry, and Coco's down here, and George is somewhere here. George, hello, George. There. Okay, so everybody gets a little bit of mozzarella cheese, and this is ready to go into the oven when my friend Barbara gets here. And I hope you will try this again. I did this tonight with kale and onions. You can also do it and mixed in the walnuts into the ricotta. You can also do it with mushrooms, any favorite vegetable of yours. You could even put meat in there if you'd like. So feel free to experiment, make this dish your own, and enjoy it. So where's my glass of wine? Here you go. To you, wishing you health and happiness, and I'll see you again on Suzanne Elizabeth's Kitchen. Goodbye.